Foundation once contained a book. Not because it was dangerous, because it was too good. The Anomaly is a tabletop role-playing game rulebook. 11 by 15 inches, produced by a company called Vikander-Kneed Technical Media, a name that should immediately raise red flags for anyone familiar with their other products. The cover reads, "The ViKarious ToMe." Scans confirm the book has 60 pages. Open it, however, and you'll find anywhere from 5 pages to a theoretically infinite number, with page numbers that range from 1 to 5, but are not restricted to integers. Page 2.7. Page 4.00001. Page 1, but slightly sideways. The Foundation doesn't fully understand it. But that's not even the interesting part. The interesting part is what happened when SCP-7132 arrived at Site-43. SCP-7132 is a person, a different person every 3 days. Every 72 hours, whoever they currently are, spontaneously combusts and is replaced. A new body, a new soul, same designation, unless that iteration works through their personal, emotional trauma before the combustion. The consequences are global. We're talking worldwide. The current iteration? A 10-year-old child. And what that child wanted, more than containment, more than therapy, more than anything, was to be told the greatest story ever told. In Part 2, the Foundation assigned Dr. William Weddle to the case. Dr. Weddle, for context, is the unluckiest man alive. This should go great. What happens when the worst researcher at Site-43 runs a tabletop campaign for a child who could end the world if she doesn't have fun? Dr. William W. Weddle, Deputy Chair of Replication Studies, Site-43, designated separately as SCP-7000. A living probability sink who is cosmically, reliably, almost impressively unlucky. He was assigned to test SCP-8132. The testing log begins with a goat named Gertrude. Loose in the mess hall, it only gets stranger from there. But something unexpected happened when 8132 was brought to 7132, the reincarnating child. She lit up. She named her character Dr. Jorek Stormbreath. 5 katanas. Improbable coat. A character with more will to live than anyone who'd ever sat across from Weddle in a meeting. Weddle, against every instinct he had, kept running the game. Session after session. Week after week. A grumpy, cynical, perpetually manure-adjacent researcher. And a 10-year-old who combusted every few days. But kept coming back, kept asking, "Keep going, what happens next?" And SCP-8132 responded. The pages shifted. The book seemed to want this story to be told. The anomaly wasn't just infinite. It was generative. It gave them exactly what their campaign needed, exactly when they needed it. Challenges, lore, creatures, consequences. Staff at Site-43 started gathering around the sessions. Quietly, from the doorway, a Foundation that usually treats anomalies like inventory found themselves invested in what happened to Dr. Jorek Stormbreath and her pile of katanas. And then, as it always does with SCP-7132, came the final session. Let's finish the story in Part 3, as the greatest story ever told ends the only way a good story can. She figured it out. The anomaly wasn't just a game. It was a mirror pointed at everything. In their final session, Dr. Weddle rolled on the random encounter table. The result? The ViKarious ToMe itself. SCP-7132, Jorek Stormbreath, 5 katanas, unbothered. Immediately understood what that meant. She said, "We're going meta-metagaming." She said, "This is what it's all been building toward. The greatest story ever told. Of course it has to have recursion." Her character realized, mid-campaign, that reality itself follows the rules laid down by SCP-8132. That they were all characters in a role-playing game. That the only way to fight back was to understand the system, before someone found a way to make them forget. Weddle tried to keep up. He also tried to stall. Because he knew. She was close to her combustion window. She didn't care. She kept going. She narrated until the very end. And then, SCP-7132 told Dr. Weddle, "You don't need to lose me. You have our story. A story lasts forever, no matter where you are. You can remember it and the growth it caused in you. And you'll have me in your memory." At 21:30, she glowed, rose into the air, and in a ball of fire and lightning, was gone. An old man collapsed onto the bed. New iteration, new person, new case. The Phoenix event triggered with 0 global consequences. For the first time in a long time. Site, 43 staff, researchers, security, technicians. Set up a shrine, SCP-8132 at the center. Pictures of the child surrounding it. People visited it 4 times a day. The Foundation eventually confiscated the book, noted a decline in staff productivity, recommended psychological support. The containment procedures were updated. SCP-8132's location is to be kept secret from anyone working at Site 43. Not because the book is dangerous, but because they'd never stop going back to it.